Y'all, I think this book is about me. Hey guys, it's Bobby, aka Paginator, and I'm here with a spoiler-free review of Blade of Secrets by Tricia Levenseller. I got this book from an event through the King's English Bookshop. They were having an online author event, so you purchase a copy of the book, and you'd get to meet the author for a little 1-minute one-on-one chat, and then she would speak to the group. Unfortunately, when I got into the Zoom for my 1-minute one-on-one time, some mistake happened and they kicked me out after about 20 seconds. Her publicist did send me an email and say, I'm so sorry, it was an unfortunate mistake. Please come back in. But I had an essay due for my grad school class, and I said, you know what, let's just let it be. I am still really excited to read the book, but I've got homework, so thank you for reaching out, but I'll decline. So I didn't end up seeing the whole chat where she talked to everyone about the book. So I'm sorry that I can't give you that insider information, but I can say this. It came in the mail on Monday evening. It's now Wednesday as I film this. So it came in the mail 2 days ago. And I started to read this, and I sent my sister a message that said, I think this book is about me, and here's why. The main character is someone who struggles with anxiety, and her anxiety is triggered by parties, crowded spaces, eating in front of other people, afraid of saying something stupid, like one-on-one conversations with someone you don't know. Like, we have the same triggers. However, it's not really me, because this main character, Ziva is her name, she is a 6-foot-tall blacksmith who has the ability to imbue magic into her weapon, so that part's not me. But as I tell you about my reading experience with this book, I am going to keep this spoiler-free. This book is the first in a duology, and it is so bloody fantastic. I will tell you right up front, I gave this 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. Today, when my kids were working independently, I should have been grading papers. I wasn't. I was reading this book. Of course, that means I have to grade papers tonight, but, you know, you make trade-offs in life. It's okay. So our main character, Ziva, is 18, and she and her younger sister, Temra, are kind of on their own in the world. When Ziva discovered she had this magical ability with working with iron, she was taken under apprenticeship by a blacksmith and took over his shop when he retired. And Temra goes to school in the day, but then comes back and helps Ziva run the shop, and she handles like the customer situation, because Ziva gets really bad anxiety when trying to talk to strangers. But she has amazing powers, and in the beginning of the book, we see her make a very cool weapon, and sometimes she doesn't know exactly what the magic does to the weapon, and without spoiling anything, she and her sister go out in the backyard to discover what the magic does, and it's got like this really cool power. Well, they get invited to what's supposed to be a small get-together at the home of the governor, but really is like this massive party. So of course Ziva's struggling, and an incident goes down with the son of the governor. He tries to make advances on Ziva, and she tells him no. She doesn't touch him, doesn't hit him. He takes his rejection and runs off, like whimpering like a baby. But immediately goes and tells his dad, guess what? This girl hit me, and blah, blah, blah. And his friends are out to like now make her life miserable, even though she really didn't do anything wrong. And of course they're going to turn their bullying on Temra at school as well. So they're kind of in a tough spot. Well, there's a female warlord who Ziva had met at the party, and she comes to the blacksmith shop and says, I really need an amazing weapon, like the best magical weapon you've ever made before. I want a broadsword, and I want it to be the most powerful thing that you can make. I'll be back in 3 months. If you have done well, you'll get a permanent position in my home, and you'll get to be my personal bladesmith, and your sister can come along with you. So Ziva's like, great, this could be the answer to our problems. We won't have to be harassed by these boys anymore, and people will leave us alone. So she works really hard and makes an amazing, amazing weapon. And I kind of feel like I can't tell you much more than that because everything else hinges on secrets that start to come out from various characters. There are a couple of young men who enter the story. We have Kellen, who is a very tall, he's like 6'6", redheaded mercenary, and he's also come seeking a weapon from the famous Ziva magical blacksmith. And we also have a young man who is a magical historian, and he was kind of raised by like monks and priests and stuff, so he wears robes, and he's very interested in interviewing Ziva for his history of magic and magical things. And his name is Petrick, kind of like Patrick but with an E, like Petrick. The four of them, the two young men and the two sisters, due to some circumstances that arise, end up traveling together on an adventure to try to save themselves. And wow, do things happen. I can tell you there's no sexual content, although it is hinted that Temra has had her share of experience. Like, she likes to sneak off and make out with boys. We don't know if she's like really done more than making out, but she's definitely into that. The sneaking out and that kind of thing. And there is a good share of violence. However, I do feel like I can give this to my 7th and 8th graders and they would be okay to read it. Most of Tricia Levenseller's books are fine for middle schoolers, in my opinion. There is one of hers that I probably won't give them because it's got some sex in it, and if their parents are okay with them reading it, it's fine, but I'm not going to like book talk it, a book that has a lot of that in it, if that makes sense. Anyway, back to this one. The character development is fantastic. As I said, I related very strongly to the main character, Ziva, and I also just love that her name's Ziva because it makes me think of Ziva David from NCIS. Very, very cool. Also a female warrior in that show. I also really like Temra, the sister. The two of them have such a great relationship. They argue sometimes, as sisters do, but they always have each other's backs. And the four young people who end up on this quest together, they're such a great group, just working together, and it's just, it's a fantastic read. So yes, I did depart from my official TBR list right now. I don't care. I read this in like a day and a half. So there it is. Or maybe it was 2 days. Anyway, it was super fantastic read. 5 stars. Highly recommend. Cannot say enough good things about this. And I am very, very thrilled to have gotten to read it. And now I have to go take it back to school because I already have a student who wants to check it out. So there you go. If you get a chance, pick up a copy of this book or check it out from your local library or wherever you get books. It is wonderful. So that's all I have to tell you. I hope as this uploads on Saturday, you're having a wonderful weekend. Have a magical and bookish day as well. Happy reading. Adios.